You ever meet someone and almost instantly you just decide you don't like them? Well, it turns out that feeling, that snap judgment, it's not random at all. It's a powerful mental shortcut. And today, we're going to dig into how one tiny negative detail can completely spoil our view of a person.
Seriously, think about it. You meet someone new, maybe they say one thing that rubs you the wrong way, or maybe you just don't like their shirt. And boom, that's it. Your mind is made up. What you just experienced is a powerful shortcut your brain takes all the time.
You know that immediate gut-level feeling? It's not just a hunch or you being moody. It's actually a well-documented cognitive bias, and it has a name that honestly perfectly captures its negative power.
It's called the horn effect. And what it means is our brain just latches onto one single perceived flaw. Maybe someone's dressed a little sloppy or they talk too loud, and it allows that one thing to cast a negative shadow over everything else about them. Their intelligence, their kindness, their character, all of it.
And you know, the other names for it, like the devil effect, they really say it all. It's almost like we spot one little flaw and our brain just goes ahead and puts a pair of devil's horns on their head.
And speaking of devils and angels, the horn effect has a much more famous and a much nicer sibling. In fact, you've probably already heard of it.
So here's how it breaks down. You've got the halo effect, where one great quality, like being really good looking, makes us assume someone is also smart and funny and kind. We basically give them a saint's halo. The horn effect, though, is the evil twin. One bad trait and they get the devil's horns. They are two sides of the exact same cognitive coin.
Okay, so this isn't just some dusty old psychology theory. The horn effect has very real and often very unfair consequences in our everyday lives.
For example, studies have shown this startlingly common bias. People unconsciously connect physical unattractiveness with bad character traits. It's a textbook case of the horn effect, where a judgment about someone's looks bleeds over into a judgment about their morality, even though those two things have absolutely nothing to do with each other.
And this bias doesn't just stay small scale. It can scale all the way up to global politics. This quote about Hugo Chavez just nails it. Once a public figure gets tagged with those devil horns, every single thing they do is seen through that negative filter, which makes a fair, balanced assessment of what they actually did almost impossible.
But just when you think you've got this whole bias thing figured out, it gets way more complicated. What if I told you that in certain situations, the opposite, the halo effect, can completely backfire and actually become a huge liability? Yeah, it turns out our brain's little shortcuts aren't always so predictable. There was this fascinating study on crime and punishment that revealed a situation where our brains do the exact opposite of what we'd normally expect. Okay, so check this out. In a mock trial for a burglary, a crime where looks shouldn't matter at all, the attractive defendant got a lighter sentence. Classic halo effect, right? But then, in a swindle case where an attractive person used their looks to trick someone, they were punished more severely. What on earth changed?
Well, the jury felt that the attractive defendant had basically used her beauty as a weapon. Her positive trait was seen as a tool for deception. So that halo, it didn't just vanish, it was replaced by horns. The very thing that should have helped her ended up hurting her even more. So understanding this bias isn't just some interesting psychological exercise. It is a vital tool for making fairer, more rational decisions in pretty much every part of our lives. And believe me, this bias is hiding everywhere. In a job interview, one awkward answer can completely overshadow an amazing resume. In a performance review, one mistake can erase a whole year of great work. It influences how we see politicians, how jurors see defendants, and even how we judge a total stranger on the street. Just knowing it exists is the first step to fighting it.
And that leaves us with one final, very personal question to think about. Think about someone you've judged harshly. A colleague, a public figure, maybe even a family member. Are the horns you see on them actually real, or are they just a figment of your own mind's shortcut?